Welcome everybody to the last episode for the Love of Emails Season 1. I'm really glad to be here to represent Netcore for this last episode where we're going to be talking about accepting the unacceptable. So I would love to start with a round of applause for Netcore and for the Love of Emails, who won the Best Email Marketing Podcast of 2021 by Webula. So it was chosen by a public vote involving like thousands of people and podcast listeners. Very incredible. Thousands and thousands of people are listening to the podcast. That is great. It means that we're spreading the world of email and deliverability, and we can create better centers out there. So the For the Love of Email podcast, is sponsored by Netcore Cloud and is one of the most loved ones. So thank you for all of your love. We hope to keep servicing you in the future with all our knowledge through podcasts and blogs. And if you have missed any of the last episodes, you can find them on all the most popular streaming platforms. So please subscribe, give us a shout, and share with all your other colleagues or friends who might need to learn anything or anything at all or everything about email. So today I am at the Inbox Expo. I just finished one of my presentations Inbox Expo from Arthur and Nelly. It is a great event, great people here. It was nice to see people again that we hadn't seen in such a long time in person. Everything has been over video lately or over a phone call. So it was great to see people, see the presentations. And Inbox Expo was sponsored by Netcore, one of the 3 top sponsors here at Inbox Expo. So it was great to meet different people, regroup all the teams when it comes to Netcore here. So without further ado, let's talk today about how to accept the unacceptable. So in the last episodes, we went through a bunch of cool things. We talked about AI, we talked about deliverability, marketing, weird things that come with marketing. And sometimes that is super interesting. We go back to work and we have no idea how to push these ideas through. Or we might have an idea, but there's always somebody, a department, a budget issue, and getting those cool things done like AMP for email or getting just simple things like DMARC implemented, which I can agree is not always the simplest of things, can be quite a hassle. So I wanted to go through some of the things that worked for me in the last couple of years. So the first thing is to surround yourself by people that are knowledgeable or people that are still learning and that want to learn when it comes to email. In the Email Geek Slack community, we answer anybody's questions. We can ask any kind of questions, but sometimes we're a little bit too shy to approach somebody specifically that has the answer, and you're like, I might be bothering them, or I don't know these people, I've never met them before. The best thing is to reach out to all of us. We all have different experiences. I'm a deliverability specialist, and I know a bunch of other deliverability specialists, and we work with different businesses. We encounter different issues, and sometimes like really particular issues that you can Google, you can maybe go through logic and try and figure out on your own. So why spend the time? Why waste the money, the goals, the KPIs, and let's get somebody who has the answers, just tell us immediately so we can implement changes as fast as possible. All of us, we're always going to accept somebody who's being polite and asking us a question. There's no way in wasting your time and to try to, reinvent the wheels. So the first thing you need to do is go ask things from your community. We're here, we know it. It can be Netcore, it can be specialists, it can be people that are running the block list, anything at all. People do have the answer, or they've seen it, or they can point you to the right person. And you don't need to be shy. I remember the first time I met the first, official email geek. I was reading his blogs and I was watching everything. And when I met him, everything was fine. He was a cool guy. Everybody was nice. And anytime I have any questions or we see each other, we can talk about our email woes. We can come up with new solutions, talk about things that we might have heard individually. It's great. All of us want to share this data, and it's no competition, right? There's a lot of deliverability specialists, but there's way more businesses out there that are sending emails than there are people of us, right? So the first thing is community. The other thing is brush up on those Excel sheets. A lot of companies, I know, we don't have the budget for deliverability monitoring tools. We don't have the budget for DNSBL listings, so we're always on top of things when domains get listed. So Excel is the way to go. Google Sheets allows you to connect by API to about 1,000,001 services. Brush up on those skills, learn the really deep development style skills when it comes to Google Sheets or Excel, because what you can do is grab every time something happens in the company, somebody buys a list, somebody uploads a list, the volume goes up, the volume goes down, anything that happens, just log it in a diary, time with date. And as time progresses, and you have this wonderful Excel sheets with graphs going up, graphs going down, you have a log of everything that's happened in the company that would obviously affect email. And then you can compare. Okay, we uploaded a list, the volume went up. And then a couple of days later, things started, revenue, the goals are not being reached, things are changing, what is happening? You can go through the logs and you have these beautiful graphs. And you don't have to pay expensive tools that are going to, just take free data that's available on the internet, or you can grab through the terminal and just put it in an Excel sheet so you can create your own graphs. Some people I know can create these amazing Excel sheets that are actually better than most dashboards, and can put some deliverability monitoring tools to shame. That's one thing that is the most important. And the most important skill when it comes to being able to keep all the data together, because especially when it comes to email and deliverability, we kind of have data a little bit everywhere. We have the CRM side of things, we have the deliverability monitoring things, we have the revenue goals, we have email marketing open clicks, unsubscribe rates, spam complaints, we have Google Postmaster and SNDS, and all of this together needs to be together, actually. Excel is your way to go, and it's the cheapest way out there. It just takes a little bit of skill. One of the other things I love the most when it comes to email and deliverability is when people are reluctant to believe what we have to say. So I'm in the deliverability side of things. I'm in IT. For me, it's very easy to explain why authentication is important. But you can imagine businesses are always going to push back. It takes resources. It's something different. It's something they've never done before as well. And fear is always a factor here. When a business has been doing things for several years, and we know that the spam filters are changing, they're becoming more strict, they're becoming smarter, they're looking at more things. The business itself, the technology might not have just jumped, in the last couple of years. So these businesses feel like, hey, I've been doing something for so many years. I've been successful at doing this thing. I've been using email the way I'm supposed to be using email. It's bringing me revenue. What are you talking about? And that's where the certain things start. And that's the most important part. We need to start educating everyone around us. Email geeks talking to email geeks, like today at the Inbox Expo. Sometimes, depending on the speech, we're preaching from the choir. There's obviously people that are new; they need to learn things. How do things work? Of course, but I don't think that I need to talk to other email geeks and prove to them that they should authenticate their domain, or that they shouldn't buy lists, or engagement is extremely important. And having low open rates isn't just a deliverability issue in itself. It can be as well that people not caring will become real deliverability issues in the future. So it is very important to educate people around us, the people that are making the decisions, the people that are going to push to buy the list or push to do certain marketing tactics or send more to the same people on a daily basis, upping volume and migrating from one place to the other and rotating domains and IPs. These people, this is obviously not their job to know all the nitty-gritty little details, right? So it's important to try and bring them in the loop. As email geeks, we're like super excited. We can talk about email all day. I know I can. I can argue about it. I want to learn new things. There's articles coming right and left. Things that, every time I think that I'm catching up, there's somebody that sends me a link saying, hey, Tori, have you seen this? I was like, no, I have not. And have you seen this? No. We get so excited talking about email, learning about how things work, and really making the pieces of the clock work. But we need other people, the ones that are going to tell us the yes and the no. They also need to understand. Now, obviously, they don't need to become engineers or become content writers, but they can understand the principle, how things work, why they work this way. You can do exercises with them. If there's a really cool article, share it with them, or take the time. If you take the time to read it, take the most important sentences, put it together and send it to your manager, the guy that is pushing you maybe to do things, or your the C-level people who are creating these amazing goals that are based on maybe open rates instead of revenue. Try to explain to them why this is not going to be the best way moving forward, and how it wasn't the best way Anyways, months ago, I mean, the Apple privacy policy came out to the world and told them that open rates were not going to be that specific. But as email geeks, we've known for a very long time that depending on your business, depending on your list, depending on your industry, the open rates were already not the perfect metric to know, to follow, sorry, or to make decisions solely upon. So making sure that you have this team of people that obviously know things about email deliverability, that are constantly learning, but are also taking all that knowledge and pushing it outside. We want the salespeople, we want good customers, we want good senders. We want to make sure that we're bringing the good customers in who are going to keep wanting to receive all the content we have to share. They need to understand as well how email and deliverability works. Your boss, your manager, the marketing team, if it's separated and it's not really an email centric, knowledgeable team, we need to talk to them. We want to make sure, because if we're going to keep complaining that certain people in the business are not listening to us, or they're having a hard time implementing changes because they fear that changing things is going to break things, goals are going to not be kept, KPIs are going to break, all of those things need to be shared with others. The Email Geek Slack channel is there. The Women of Email organization is there. Netcore is here. Other ESPs have support teams. We're really present in the community. So it's very important that you grab all the things that everybody's saying, because we're doing the same thing with all things that you guys are learning, you guys are putting on the internet, and share it externally. It's going to be the safest, easiest way to get some no's become yeses. And it's going to take time, because we have this assumption, right? Most people have this assumption that when we send an email, the email is going to get received by the other side, the other person, if that inbox exists. And we know that is not real. We know that Gmail is becoming stricter. A lot of people in August had issues with Gmail, and we hear these weird things where we're like, oh no, the companies are panicking. What are we going to do? Gmail is blocking our emails. And then, somebody comes in, tells them the advice that we've learned through the last episodes or through other podcasts and articles. And they're like, no, we cannot do that. And we kind of, stare at them, but you have an issue. You want us to fix it. You're paying me for my expertise and you don't want to do it. We need to understand why, what is happening in the back and what people are thinking about. It's based on fear. It's based on a million and one things. It's based on just routine. We have to think about how the people that are at the top of the business, or the managers, they're the ones that used to do our job a couple of years ago, or maybe a long time ago. And they did certain things a certain way. In a world that email just didn't really exist. It wasn't really a thing. You just press send and it just lands. We know what spam is. That's about it, right? Some open metrics. Who looks at bounces, And these people were doing our job back in the day. And now they're at the top making decisions. And they're not, in the Email Geek Slack channel. They're not reading about RFC documentation. They're not doing any of these things. And we're expecting them to just trust us. Out of the blue, Yanatori comes in and says something and everybody has to follow. Of course, we need to educate. We need to bring people in, and we need to make sure that these people feel safe, that there's a plan, that you have a middle ground, where you can start off with small little things to see, does this affect revenue? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, let's keep going forward. Does it affect revenue, or does it affect any of the goals the business has? And just keep going in that positive sense. We also have to remind businesses that when we're not the senders and we go to a store and they ask us for emails and we just roll our eyes and we're like, oh God, again, I need to go, sign up to something if I want a Starbucks or something like that. If we feel that way, so does everybody else. And we tend to forget that, right? We're a customer, we get annoyed at receiving all these emails. And as a person that's going to send emails, we're like, yes, let's go send. It's Black Friday. It's the holidays. Let's just send everybody to everybody. Everybody wants a product. I'm amazing. My product is amazing. Come on. Right? It's very important to remember when we're the sender, what it feels like to be a recipient. Extremely. And this is my favorite example. This is the example I use all the time. Probably going to have to find a new example soon. So I'm overusing it. If I go in to buy a mattress, do you think that sending me another email selling me mattresses is going to make me buy another mattress? I mean, come on. How many mattresses can I possibly own? Mattress stores can do a bunch of other things though. They can sell me, products to clean the bed protectors, I don't know, pillows, bed sheets. There's a million and one things to send me. And they also don't need to send me an email every day. We need to take the time, relax a little bit, and ask our managers to sign up to our own emails. Sometimes it's the easiest way. And you tell them to sign up to the emails, right? And at the beginning, they're going to be reading them, oh, this is great. And at some point, they're going to stop doing it. And you're going to see their specific open rate slowly tank. Why, right? You should be proud of your own product. You should be proud about everything that's being sent out. You know, if you're doing social media or email or whatever, you want to be proud of the things that are going out. They're representing your business. If you cannot catch your own, if your social media or your emails don't catch your own attention, there's something that you probably have to fix. That's another trick. You know, if people are having a hard time understanding why, you know, sending too many emails is too much, or maybe the content is just not catered to everybody and segmentation is needed, but we don't have the budget or the time to do it. Make them sign up to the emails. Once they start getting a million of emails that they're not opening, you know, some of them might land for them specifically, you know, in other folders, somewhere where it's not going to annoy the person. You're going to see the open rates, the person not opening the emails anymore. It is a great argument to go back to your managers and be like, hey, man, you don't care about your own emails? And sometimes it can start a conversation, a deeper conversation where you guys can take the time, one, to educate, like we were talking about, and two, to rethink everything. People really need to understand, and not people like me and you or email geeks or marketers, the people making the hard decisions that we know should not happen, really need to understand that the world of email is changing. It has been changing and it's changing quite rapidly. We have a lot of customers or clients or people asking questions specifically about Gmail this time of year. You know, Gmail changed things in August, and a lot of businesses have lost a lot of revenue, lost a lot of KPIs related because of Google putting the emails in spam or nowhere at all. It's extremely important to get everybody educated, because in email, the most important part is to remain proactive. If you're reactive, it is just like ruining a credit score. You're going to have to prove to individual inboxes, to the spam filters, to your audience, that you're somebody trustworthy and interesting. So please make sure that you're pushing your company, that you're pushing yourself. If you're an agency, that you're helping your customers understand that sending more or doing these like clickbait tactics, you know, you have an amazing subject line and then you open the email, it has nothing to do with the subject line. That is a bad move. Gmail knows way more than we do when it comes to email metrics, or Yahoo and all the other inboxes. They know how long people are staying in the emails. They know what people are doing with the emails. Do they move it out of spam? Do they put it in the promotions tab? Do they remove it from the promotions tab and put it in the inbox? Do they start it to reply back? Do they send it? What do they read? Do they scroll? Do they click? They have all this data for real. On the other side, we have open rates, click rates. We know they can be skewed. You have bad deliverability, open rates can like skyrocket. You have bad deliverability, open rates can go down as well, which can be very confusing for some people. But it all depends about what's happening. So you need to make sure that you not only are using all these metrics all together, but that you understand that the inboxes have way more information than anybody else on the planet. This is done on purpose, because if we knew how to get around the spam filters wouldn't really be useful, or at least not at all. So it's really, really important to understand that you can push these things. So I see there was one of these questions here. Does seniority matter when it comes to fixing deliverability? Personally, I had a little bit of an issue. I'm very young. I'm still very young. And I started my career in email and deliverability when I was very young. And I did have some pushback. And throughout the years, I realized that the pushback was exactly the same. Different businesses have the same issues, the same fears. They have the same misconceptions. So the issue didn't have to do with the seniority, maybe. It had to do with how I presented myself and how I had my data. I was ready. I had the information. I had my links. I had people backing me up. I had competitors, let's say, other deliverability consultants who were in that call and who confirmed what I had to say. I wasn't scared of a deliverability person stealing my job. There's definitely not enough of us out there. So the seniority part isn't the most important. The most important, it's how you present the data. Stay calm, empathetic. You have to listen to your customers, obviously, to make sure that you understand where the issue stems from. Where historically, where has this mentality of sending more emails or rotating IPs or changing domains? Where does that come from? What happened? Is it something you can fix? So it's extremely, extremely important. To be knowledgeable, to always be up to date, to ask questions to people. I am not the most senior deliverability person, but I do love getting on calls and answering people's questions. And I do this for fun. I get to talk about something I love. I don't have to bother my parents and my partner about it. As I talk about it 24/7, I get to talk with somebody who really wants to learn about email. And I know a lot of other email geeks feel the same way. I know that people in NetCore do. You have the sales team who try to explain things to people, how the products work, why ESPs can or cannot do things, why sometimes the ESP is not the problem. If you're buying lists or you're changing your volume really quickly, or you're not sending the same type of content all the time, the ESP is not to blame. If your domain reputation is going down, it's all on you. It's your domain reputation. You're the one pressing send. You're the one sending to people who might or might not know you. So it's very, very, very important that you remain knowledgeable. And the last thing is to stand your ground. We are going to be told multiple times no. Ask anybody who has like a billion years more experience than I do when it comes to deliverability, and they're going to get the same thing. And sometimes what we have to do is just, as a consultant, for example, we would have to fire a customer. If the person doesn't change and is affecting other customers, we have to do something about it. But we get the same questions, we get the same issues, we get the same pushback. The laws are different everywhere. Americans can buy email lists as long as there's some form of relation between the content you're sending and what they want. There's an unsubscribe link, and that you unsubscribe them when they do click on it. But spam filters are the same. So the spam filters are not going to be different for Americans as they would be for, I don't know, Dutch people or Greek people in Europe. It's the same. So the spam filters care about the strictest laws and will implement it to protect their customers. Which is another thing. Inboxes don't care about you and your business and how much money you're making. Their job is to make sure that their customers, the subscribers, your subscribers, the inbox holders are safe, that they don't have spam, that they don't get annoyed, and that they're not getting an inbox that is cluttered with 25 emails about buy another mattress, please. It's extremely important to understand that the spam filters are all different, for one, and two, that they don't really care if you're allowed to do something that's not exactly super legal in Europe or in Canada with Castle and GDPR. So that's the same. So if you're doing things that spam filters know, and also remind everybody around you, inboxes and spam filters are way smarter than all of us combined. It's very easy for them to figure out patterns. A lot of the emails sent out in the world, most of the emails sent out in the world are spam. It's easier to compare emails from spam to spam than from, is it a good email compared to another good email. So when you're changing things, make sure that it's slow. When you're warming up IPs, it's not only the IPs, it's the domain, it's the content, it's the holidays, you're going to change your tone because of COVID, where you're a very strict lawyer talking in a certain way, and now it's COVID, and you're like, oh, I miss you, and I hope everything's okay. Spam filter's going to be shocked. Who are you? What the hell is happening? Is it really you? They're going to make decisions for you. So when you want your company to make sure that they can accept the unacceptable, it is all through education. No one is going to steal your job. Nobody can do what you do. Be confident and stand your ground. Let the businesses know what they need to know so that they can make the right decision. They can have the same mindset as you have. It's going to make your life easier, and then you can have more time working on the right things instead of being reactive and fixing a bunch of things. And I'm not only talking about deliverability here. I'm talking about marketing strategies. There is nothing worse than losing a customer's trust or a subscriber's trust. They will never open an email again. We have an amazing promotion. Here's 5% off on a $2 purchase. That's not valuable. And we always talk about value when it comes to email. So if you have to push your business, into creating valuable emails, it is really time to sit down, do some courses, even if it's like lunch and learns, get people educated. And when you're excited about an article, you're excited about a video or something somebody said, highlight it, make it easier for your manager, for the person that might be fearful of the changes, and make that information visible. After a while, you're going to see that people are going to start thinking like you. The solutions and the goals you're going to create are going to be aligned with yours. So it's extremely important. And reach out to people. We're very nice. be careful and about other people's times, but ask us questions. We will take the time. All the email geeks will take the time, from marketers to content writers, anything like that. It's very important. Oh, I see another question here. So to find a mentor for email, oh, that was really fun. One, it is always, you don't have to find somebody that is local around you. Some of us live in countries that there's not that many email geeks out there. Two, reach out to people, show them you're interested, read what they have to write, and ask them politely. It's just as easy as that. A lot of people want to be mentors. A lot of people are mentors. A lot of people want to be mentees and maybe grow into the role of a mentor. Finding a mentor is very easy. There's Women of the Email organization. You can find somebody there. You have the Email Geek Slack channel as well, where you can find other people there, and you're going to see all these Slack channels based from coding to marketing to just vendor specific as well. You can communicate with them, have a friendly chat, tell them what you're looking for, and they will let you know how much time they have. It's just as easy as that. And the other part is people on LinkedIn. The email geeks are on LinkedIn and on Twitter mainly, at least from what I know. I stalk everybody on LinkedIn. I stalk everybody on Twitter. People have very interesting things to say. If you show people that you're interested into learning and growing, just reach out. They will let you know if they have the time or not, and they might even tell you who's a better fit for you. And here, oh, so how do you get resources? Okay, so I have a document that I have created because a lot of people are asking for the resources of a bunch of deliverability people, marketers, content writers, strategists, the whole thing. And I put it together, I edit it and I update it very often. Every time there's new things that come in, and also sometimes we forget about certain things. We don't always have the time to read all the campaigns and all the amazing content that all their email specialists are putting out there. So I will be sharing this with Netcore, who will be sharing it with you. I assume it's going to be in the comments somewhere, a post, an email for all the ones that subscribe or register to attend. So I will be able to share that with you, and you can refer to it a couple of times throughout the year. You'll see it will change, it will grow. We'll get more people's names in there. I'll get more websites and more documents about things that are really, really extremely interesting, but sometimes are in the blogs that are a little bit hidden, like the Stenhouse blogs, which I know not everybody is going to be interested in reading. But it still affects marketing. Marketing affects deliverability, and deliverability affects marketing, obviously, and goes. So try not to stay very narrow-minded. Open your mind, open the horizon, and try to understand the other part. If you're in IT, try to understand the marketers. If you're in marketing, try to understand the designers, deliverability, and so on. If you want this to succeed and you want to make it easier for yourself and reach those goals and make all these cool, great things, you need to first start your own little community within your business, with your customers, with however you're working, and you're going to see life is going to be a lot easier. Still going to be pushback. I cannot promise you there's never going to be pushback. There's always people to educate. There's always people that have misconceptions, but it will be more easy if you have a bunch of people understanding what you have to say and how the world works, because it's not like you're the one who invented and is blocking people's emails. You're not the spam filter, right? I'm not the spam filter either. If you get these people to, put the misconceptions away and focus on what's really going to help their business, you're going to see that everything succeeds, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to succeed as well. So I would like to see if there's any questions. If not, we would wrap this up, and I will, let's see. I see some typing. Oh, none. So I would like to thank you all for participating today on the last For the Love of Emails podcast, and hopefully we can see you next year. If anybody still has any questions, please feel free to send an email to Netcore or to connect with Netcore and I, and we will answer you back or get on a call with you, however you wish. So thank you, and au revoir.